man, whatever happened to good old-fashioned trial and error? You know what I mean? Like when I used to just go to Pentagon City and just get lit up asking for girls' phone numbers until I got better at it. I know I never got better at it. But it's a parable.
Last time on Troubled Waters.
Please tell Daryl that this is not a woman's suit.
Oh my God, that's a woman's suit.
Alpha bro Andrew Tate models his fashion style after 90s TV icon Peg Bundy. I don't agree with that. That looks like Marcy Darcy right there.
And Marcy, you look like a chicken.
For America, turn around, hands behind your back.
What? This is a misunderstanding.
And separately, that outfit is a crime against fashion.
Like Oscar is gay. That is his choice.
The secret is out about Republican men. Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Y'all funny. Y'all just Photoshop anything. Now that's it. That's not Photoshop. That's a real photo. That's MAGA. MAGA. Is this your king? Is this your king? This the man who you needed to stand up to world leaders right here? Huh? Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video and don't forget to send your merch pics from everything you pick up at thepeoplesgetup.com to me at admin@reesewaters.com. My name is Reese Waters and I'm troubled. Just in, U.S. Marshals have arrested Andrew and Tristan Tate in Miami on a sealed warrant, according to federal law enforcement source. The brothers face multiple charges, according to the UK Crown Prosecution Service. There you see them right there. The Tate brothers have reportedly been close to the Trump family. Close to the Trump family, you say?
And I'm very close to the Trump family. I know them well, and I spoke to Barron after the incident, and I look forward to, once I am free, being with Donald Trump in person and reminding him that he's a bulletproof badass.
This is the attorney for President Trump, somebody who has been a fighter for the America First Party. Her name is Alina Habba, and she joins us live right now.
Hi.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice to meet you.
Formal charges against Andrew Tate include human trafficking of minors with a minor.
Now, in the before times, we would have just said, you know, those are just the whims of a criminal looking for any rung to claw his way out of trouble, because it's no way somebody at that level of power and status would consort with the likes of Andrew Tate, not when he knows about the charges that he has surrounding him. But that was the before times.
And as we mentioned, the Romanian courts originally required the Tates to remain in that country as the cases were built against them. But then seemingly overnight back in February, they were seen on this plane headed to Florida. Your reporting links that shift to the relationships they cultivated with influential figures on the political right, to include members of Donald Trump's own family. What did you learn about those relationships?
Yeah. So Andrew and Tristan, they have joint American and British citizenship, but have been based in Romania since like the mid-2010s. And in 2022, they started to come under investigation. They ultimately have been under investigation in 3 countries in Romania, where they're accused of trafficking dozens of women into their business. And Andrew's been accused of they also have been accused, they're facing charges in Britain of in trafficking. They've also been under criminal investigation here in the United States. But remarkably, as they started to come under growing numbers of criminal investigations, they forged really close alliances with people on the American right, ranging from media figures like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens to members of the Trump family, first starting with Donald Trump Jr. and then with Barron Trump. And those, we found in the course of our reporting that those sort of strategic alliances culminated in their release from Romania in February of this year.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
How did that all happen? How did the U.S. involvement in their case ramp up after Trump's reelection?
Mm-hmm. So the prosecutors in Romania had barred the brothers from traveling. They've been arguing, as they've been investigating these brothers, that they pose a public risk and a flight risk, a public danger and a flight risk. And so they have repeatedly been seeking to confine them in the country. And that changed in February. When the prosecutors, an extraordinary order came down from the highest levels of the Romanian government, instructing prosecutors to reach a compromise with the brothers. And then those travel bans were lifted, which was something that the prosecutors did not want to do, according to our sources. And what we've learned is that that was really a culmination. Once Trump was reelected, there were supporters of the Tates here in the United States who ascended into the administration, including a special diplomatic envoy named Richard Grinnell, who we found through our reporting had at least 2 conversations with Romanian officials about the Tates case. And then within days of that second conversation, the order came down in Romania, ordering the compromise that led to the lifting of the travel bans. And we've been told that the Romanian prime minister believed that that would appease the Trump administration.
The New York Times reported last year that Andrew and Tristan Tate, who had been barred from leaving Romania, were allowed to travel to the United States after the Trump administration pressured Romanian authorities to lift their travel restrictions. Now that is fascinating. Not just close with the family, but actually getting the family to move on their behalf. I wonder how they were able to achieve that.
An explosive new report in The New Yorker reveals disturbing levels of coordination between the Trump administration and notorious sex trafficker Andrew Tate, including using the influence of the U.S. government to protect him and his brother Tristan from serious criminal charges. This investigation also revealed how embarrassingly easy it was for Tate to earn the loyalty of MAGA world, even as he was facing allegations of trafficking minors. After the 2016 election, Tate saw an opportunity. He started posting pro-MAGA content and messaging Donald Trump Jr. directly. It worked. He got an invitation to Trump Tower. After the visit, he posted a photo of him shaking hands with a grinning Trump Jr., writing, "The Tate family supports Trump fully, MAGA." By 2024, Tate was barred from leaving Romania while facing serious trafficking charges, but an election came closer and he saw another opportunity. He pumped out pro-MAGA content, mobilizing young men in such large numbers that Kamala Harris later named him a key factor in her defeat. During the campaign, Barron Trump had been tasked with reaching a young male audience, and Tate saw his way in. A close associate secured an invitation to Mar-a-Lago and began courting Barron on Tate's behalf. He offered dating advice and took him to a tailor who made the suit Barron wore to his father's second inauguration. During a fitting, Barron reportedly spoke with Tate over Zoom. Not long after, Tate used his online following to help Trump Jr. sell a MAGA meme coin. These connections were reportedly all it took to get the White House to intervene and help Tate and his brother escape serious trafficking charges. These extensive MAGA connections show that, as with Jeffrey Epstein, money and violence are key parts of Trump's brand of power and influence. I'll go over exactly how the administration and the right-wing media ecosystem covered up for his crimes in the next part of this series.
So you mean to tell me that these dudes got in trouble first, then all of a sudden turned MAGA in order for them to protect them from... See, they literally telegraphed the entire... MAGA, these were the people that you said we needed to stand up to world leaders, getting played by criminals for protection. Word. Well, I just want to jump in right here. You said getting played by criminals for protection, but they might not see them that way. I mean, it takes one to know one. Hey, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate's charges would get lost in the wash of all the Trump allegations, if we being honest. If you had a whole pool of all their charges, you couldn't pick out the Andrew Tristan Tate ones. Let's not forget that Benny Johnson and Alina Habba are big fans of this scum. That's interesting. Now I get why Benny Johnson might be, with everybody challenging his manhood and all that, feeling the need to finally experience that. I maybe could see something like that. Alina Habba, the bar just gets lower and lower, don't it?
When the Trump administration intervened to free Andrew Tate, they weren't just helping a friend with a little PR problem. The record of what Tate did to women was extensive, specific, and publicly known before anyone in that administration said a single word in his defense. So let's talk about what they knew. They knew that 3 women had gone to British police in 2015 describing the same pattern of violence, being choked, being attacked without warning, being held down. They knew that one of those women had received a text from Tate that read in his own words, quote, "I love you." They knew that Romanian prosecutors had filed a 300-page indictment documenting evidence that Tate and his brother had used calculated psychological manipulation to recruit vulnerable women. They knew that a second Romanian indictment named 35 suspected victims, including a 15-year-old girl. They knew that Tate's messages to his paid subscribers described the process of, quote, breaking women mentally and physically, not as confessions, but as tutorials, shared with a network of customers who were learning to do the same thing. They knew that a young American woman had escaped his compound, sent distress messages home saying, quote, "These guys are actually evil and they are definitely doing what I think they're doing to these women," and that her messages had reached the US Embassy, triggered a SWAT team response, and ultimately launched one of Romania's most serious organized crime investigations in history. They knew all of it. It was documented. It was public. It was in court records that any of their staff could access. That didn't stop Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, from going on a podcast and telling Tate, quote, "I've got your back." It didn't stop Trump from appointing one of Tate's own lawyers, the one who helped terrorize his survivors, to a job inside the Department of Justice. It didn't stop him from reaching out to the Romanian government about the Tate brothers, leading to the Tates suddenly being free to leave the very next morning. This case is now effectively stalled. The brothers are traveling freely. And if you think that that's shocking, then you haven't been paying attention. Because this is the same administration that continues to cover for Jeffrey Epstein and his friends, that nominated an accused child predator for attorney general, and that has made it clear over and over again that protecting powerful abusers is their highest priority.
Well, Andrew and Tristan Tate, you're going to need one more cover-up. Yeah, it looks like you're going to need the Trumps to come to your defense once again. And your man was asleep at the World Cup while you were getting arrested. Supposedly at the most exciting sporting event in the world, your man was asleep while you were getting arrested. Now, there might be those of you that feel some level of compassion, either for the charges that they're facing or just the ball dragging that the Tates have received. And I would like to disabuse you of that notion.
Andrew Tate was building something called the War Room. Apparently, it's a paid, private, exclusive, secret group that men actually have to pass a series of tests to belong to. It costs about $8,000 a year. Investigative reports by the BBC say that this group is a grooming operation where male members are taught how to emotionally and physically manipulate women into, quote, slavery. And these weren't just happening in silos on the internet. This was like in person. Tate would hold these luxury retreats all around the world, in castles in Transylvania with steak and whiskey and Cuban cigars. And we found out that something he teaches is how to assess how malleable a woman is. That is the word that they use. Members are taught, for example, how to dismiss women harshly after sex and then demand an act of service from them. So you have sex with someone and then you tell her to make you a meal or buy you coffee or chocolate. And if she agrees, then you're on to the next level. So it's kind of like gamifying making a woman your servant. And Tate actually said that within a couple of years of launching the War Room, at least 140 of his students were making money from pornography. Quote, everyone in here is banking 10 to 15K extra a month. But somehow it does get more disturbing because similarly to the Epstein story, the Tates became very intertwined with American politics and powerful figures. Don Jr. met with Tate and defended him, saying that the cases against him was, quote, absolute insanity. Reportedly, Tate also Zoomed multiple times with Trump's youngest son, Barron. Elon Musk even supported Tate's insane bid to run for Prime Minister of the UK. And all of these connections and kind of positive reinforcement by this very powerful elite group of people was really valuable to Tate because in the summer of 2024, before the US presidential election, Tate's mansion in Romania was raided. And he was in trouble right as he was becoming one of the most famous men on the planet.
Man, whatever happened to good old-fashioned trial and error? You know what I mean? Like when I used to just go to Pentagon City and just get lit up asking for girls' phone numbers until I got better at it. I know I never got better at it. But it's a parable. It's a parable. You know what I mean? I had to take my lumps to get to this point. What part of alpha male is going to a seminar to deal with women? What part? I don't understand that. I would put on that Trump fit with them boots and feel like more of a man than walking out of the alpha male seminar. I'll tell you that right now. Man. And by the way, Andrew Tate, I know we kind of deep into the video at this point, but about the racism.
So Brad Pitt's ugly adopted daughter wants to disown him and not have his last name anymore because she wants to be her own person. You know, she wants to show the world how fucking special and fantastic she is. Literally taken out of a third world dump, given the most privileged possible upbringing with celebrity A-list rich parents who decided to adopt you of all the random children they could have adopted. They could have got a pretty one. You're busted.
Now, Andrew Tate, you called her ugly, which she looks perfectly normal to me, but that wouldn't have anything to do with posts like this, would it? This Helen of Troy post, where this is what Lupita Nyong'o is supposed to look like. We was Helen of Troy. Yeah. Gotcha. So just so we're clear, you calling her ugly just means that she's black. I don't understand why y'all racists do that. I really don't. You put out that you're racist and then try to make some determination about somebody black. We already know. You know what I mean? That's wild to me that y'all don't. Hey, y'all do you.
They picked the ugly duckling, and her ungrateful ass grows up and starts saying, I don't want to use their last name. You know what? Clearly Brad, no offense, Brad, because we're both at the same level of fame. I'm probably going to see you around at a party or something. No offense. But clearly he's too nice. That's probably why he raised you into such a spoiled, ungrateful in the first place.
I'm sorry, did you say ungrateful? She's ungrateful because she wants to pursue life on her own terms without utilizing his name to achieve things or move past other people. Kind of like a merit-based thing. It's just, I get why that would offend you. I 1,000% get why that would offend you. Yeah, that checks.
So I'm going to do Brad's job for him. Run me my peas. Give me my money back for all the years I spent raising your ungrateful ass, and I'll drop you back in Sudan. So instead of being the ugly duckling of LA, you can be the ugly duckling of over there. You know, these children, I know I'm unk now. I'm unk. I'm 39. I'm unk. Because these kids are out of control. These children are out of control. The way they act, the way they talk, they have no decorum, no manners. I remember being young, listening to the old people say, you kids are crazy. In my day, you wouldn't get away with that. And I'd be like, whatever, old person. I'm the old person now. It's true. They raised you. Have some respect. What's wrong with these people? And then everyone goes, oh, it'll be different when you have kids. You'll see kids are just crazy nowadays because of social media. It's hard to raise them. My kids behave. My kids behave. All my kids listen to me. My kids are like soldiers, whether they're a boy or a girl. Sit down, shut up, come here, do that. None of my kids are going to give my last name away. None.
Now, it's funny you should mention that, Andrew Tate, about your children using your last name, because you have some particularly nasty charges associated with your last name that will be a weight that carries now, wouldn't it? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, generally, when people choose not to use a parent's last name, it has something to do with public shame. And no, I'm not talking about that blouse.
So maybe it's the parents' fault. I don't know. What I do know for sure is she's busted. She's ungrateful. If you're going to be ungrateful, you got to be a baddie. You know, like if you're a 10 out of 10 Russian baddie and you get bought a G-Wagon and you're like, I'm not sure about the color. It's like, all right, cool, you're bad.
Hey, Russian. You just pick that out. You just went all over the map and got and landed on Russian.
Whatever. You can't be ungrateful and ugly. The f*** is this? That's not how it works. It's like Romania trying to pretend they have laws. If I'm going to follow the law, I'll move to Switzerland. You don't get to come here as some fat with standards. They're going to play this back to me in court, aren't they? In front of a Romanian judge. Why can't I just shut up? Anyway, Brad Pitt's daughter is ugly and ungrateful. These kids are out of motherfucking control. I'm unk. I need to take control of everything. I had to raise everybody's motherfucking kids.
Andrew Tate is now listed in the Federal Bureau of Prison Systems. Race white.
What do you mean by that? Somebody told a lie one day. They couched it in language.
MAGA, y'all gotta settle that. Y'all gotta settle that. Have fun. Have fun. Oh no, Let 'em Fight is on standby. We're ready.
So the Tate brothers were arrested yesterday, but the United Kingdom is going to use their connection to Trump and the Epstein files to take Trump down. This is a wild story. First, you have two of Trump's special envoys involved with the Tate brothers. And special envoy is just another word for someone who works for the president that makes shady deals around the world. Richard Grenell was responsible for bringing the Tate brothers from Romania to Miami, Florida. Next, you have Paolo Zampoli.
Wait a minute. Did you say Paolo Zampoli? I heard that name before. Oh, yeah. We've talked about him before.
So yesterday, the First Lady gave a desperate live statement from the White House Grand Foyer. She was visibly shaking as she denied her links to Jeffrey Epstein. Why out of the blue? Because Amanda Ungaro spent 20 years in Melania's inner circle. A woman who was even a UN ambassador is currently threatening to torch the entire administration from an iPhone in Brazil. Amanda Ungaro was there for it all. The Mar-a-Lago New Year's parties, the inauguration, the private UN galas. She was the partner of Paolo Zampoli, the man who literally introduced Donald Trump to Melania. They met when she was just a teenager and he was 32. But when the relationship went south after 2 decades, Zampoli didn't just call a lawyer for custody. He weaponized the full force of the federal government against the woman he called his wife for 19 years. To win a custody battle over their American-born teenage son, Giovanni Zampoli. Paolo allegedly coordinated a hit with a high-ranking ICE official named David Venturella and his fellow Kennedy Center board member, Pam Bondi. The result, Amanda was arrested in Miami on a manufactured charge involving a single photo of her hand resting on a laser machine. She was held in ICE detention for 3 months, then deported to Brazil without trial. He kept his seat on the board next to Pam Bondi. He kept his title as presidential special envoy. But then he went too far. A Brazilian court ordered the child returned to his mother, and in total defiance of international law and a direct court order, Paulo Zampoli reportedly snatched the boy from Brazil and fled the country. Amanda has now filed a formal kidnapping complaint. She has nothing left to lose. Amanda is on X right now, posting at Melania saying, "I will take legal action against you and your PDF file husband."
You'll remember that he is the one that asked ICE to deport the mother of his child after she was no longer useful to him. He's also a former modeling agent, and he is the one that has come out in defense of Melania and Trump, saying that he is the one that introduced Melania to Trump and that it wasn't Epstein. He has also hosted political and social events with the Tate Brothers. The Tate Brothers have been charged with 59 counts of trafficking, of violent assault, of exploitation. And there are all of these connections between Trump and Epstein and the Tate Brothers and his little special envoy team. The British would love nothing more than to embarrass Trump and to take him down. And this may be the ticket. It is a wild story, and there's a lot more to dig into, and I promise I will keep bringing you these connections because it's crazy.
Wow. You really think the UK is coming for Trump? You know, like even more so than the fans when they were here for the World Cup? Hey, I would love to see it.
Meanwhile. And more money is being invested in the United States right now than at any time in the history of our country, and Americans are working today more so than ever before. We have more jobs today than we've ever had, and it's not even close. More people are working now.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I would like to start by addressing the most asked question in the comments. I love that shirt. Where'd you get it? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And even more so that you ignored my little chicken arms right here. I got it at thepeoplesgetup.com. That is where we put all of the merch that we've come up with here on the channel. And a lot of the stuff that we've come up with has come from the content, and I'm willing to take suggestions.
Okay, serious suggestions only.
I saw my man TP has already submitted a few things, and by the way, you might be seeing a TP track coming up soon, but shout out to him as well as to everybody else that has submitted ideas to admin@reesewaters.com. And speaking of memberships, a quick apology to everybody that's in the Troubled Waters tier, because y'all been getting lit up with notifications. I'll be honest. As I have mentioned, I'm moving a ton of my content over to the Troubled Waters archive. So if you wanted to do a deep dive of Reese Waters content, now would be a great time to do so. And if you're in the Troubled Waters tier, now would be an even better time to dig in, because you're going to have a lot more stuff there. I'm just letting you know. And speaking of growing, shout out to all of our new mods. I feel like I've just been giving out wrenches like Oprah. You get a wrench. You get a wrench. You get a wrench. First of all, my girl Jessica, who not only got a NBA championship with her beloved Knicks, but modship. And quite frankly, I don't know which one is better. I feel like, are they on the same level? I feel like they would have to be on the same level. And while we're at it, shout out to Lady Dorian, who's also become one of our beloved mods here on the channel, who sent me this photo alongside the note, "I'll provide my own merchandise photo for the time being as my husband is tripping." Hey, Mr. Lady Dorian. Oh, is it Mandorian? Mandalorian?
This is the way.
Come on, stall me out. Let's just think about all the free time you're going to get now that Lady Dorian is working as a mod on the channel. Is that not worth something? I can tell you what. In the time being, while we wait for that photo, why don't we do a best of, huh? Hurry up before the cops come. Y'all MF's in trouble now. Just letting you know, Memphis on the way in here, and we bringing all the ratchet effery. 901 is coming. Put your seatbelt on in this hoe. 901, report to this post and invite every fool you know. Hey, get my coat. No, we ain't gotta leave. We just know the way out. Know your exit. When they start calling it this hoe, when the party start being called a hoe, you know what I mean? Just exit drills. They got a whole Great American State Fair action figure playset. And this the one you gotta pay extra for. Cause if you get the one off the rack, it ain't but one person in there. Somebody said minutes of fun. Oh boy, minutes of fun. I bet Stormy Daniels can attest to that. I bet she can attest to that. You aligned yourself with some of the most terrible people alive and expected them to help you? What? They pulled a Clay Davis on you. Shit. Where all my scamming ass is at? I don't know what that's in reference to. I have no idea. It must be something the young people say. Where all my scamming? Oh, here come India Ari. Hey, here come India Ari. How you doing, Miss Ari? Nothing, just working on some Negro spirituals.